to worship. Our theme for this month of September is gratitude, and we are grateful for the presence of each one of you here and all that you bring to this community, without which this community would not be what it is. So welcome to All Souls, where all souls are welcome. I invite you to stand in body and our spirit and to join in our first beginning hymn, which is Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing.
I was so enraptured by your singing in that, I forgot I'm supposed to come over here. Each Sunday, we take a moment to greet each other warmly and pass along our blessings of peace. We begin by waving to the folks in the online pews. We're so glad you're with us. If you're visiting for the first time in the online pews, please let us know in the chat. If you are visiting for the first time here in Unity Hall, we invite you to raise your hand, even if it's sheepishly, so we can welcome you. And let us pass the peace we hold in our hearts by bumping elbows and making a joyful noise.
much enthusiastic, and I saw some very creative elbow bumps. We acknowledge the Nahantic, Mohegan, Mashantucket Pequot, Eastern Pequot people as the traditional caretakers of the land on which we worship. We honor and pay respect to these tribes, their ancestors, and their lineage who today uphold traditional practices, art, and education. One of those traditions is celebrating the harvest moon, the time of year when tribes harvest the land of their crops and prepare themselves for winter. The Mashantucket Pequots invite you to join them on Saturday, September 21st, 11 to 3, at the Pequot Museum for their Harvest Moon Market. Throughout the day, they'll host programs and events that provide important information about Eastern woodland culture and life ways. And admission to the marketplace is free. Yeah. Now, I'm hoping I'm remembering. So now I'd like to invite Raylyn to come up to light the chalice. Here's Raylyn. Wait. There she is. Hi, honey. Come on up. And as Raylyn lights the chalice, please join me in saying these words. We light our chalice this morning in gratitude for this time in community, its connection and spirit. May the gentle power that this flame represents nourish, uplift, and sustain. May this flame light the way. Good job, Raylyn. Thank you. And each week we also light a candle for somewhere in the world that is in need of peace. Today's candle of peace is lit for the Haitian immigrant community in Springfield, Ohio. Thank you, Perry. Amen. Reverend Carolyn wrote this following letter on the congregation's behalf to our Haitian neighbors at the Shekinah Haitian Church, just next door. Dear Pastor Agui, on behalf of All Souls Unitarian Universalist Congregation, we extend our support to all of you in the wake of the fear-mongering and racism that has recently fanned the flames of immigrant hysteria in the U.S. Such behavior is unacceptable, especially in a country that claims to be welcoming to all. We are sorry for the negative impact Haitian American communities are now suffering. Please know that you can always count on us for support as your neighbors and siblings in faith. You are held in our prayers. Peace and blessings to you all. Reverend Carolyn Paterno and Charlie Schott, Board President. That's it.
Our story for all ages this morning is about a fall activity, and it's a story about what can happen when folks get together. It's called Gather Round, and it's by David Cavell.
Gather rocks.
Rocks all around.
Let's make a fire before the sun goes down.
Gather tinder bit by bit.
Birch bark.
Pine cones.
Dry stuff.
Twigs.
Don't forget your marshmallow stick.
What comes next?
Crisscross sticks.
Make a nest for a fiery phoenix.
A magic one.
Is that a bird?
A magic one. Wait and watch. You might see one.
Crackle.
Crinkle.
Sizzle.
Pop.
Listen, hear the fire talk.
Colors flicker warm and mellow.
Red, orange.
Purple, yellow. Now look deeper. What else do you see?
That bird, a phoenix.
A fox, maybe?
Shadows swirl.
What's that, howling?
Is it the wind?
Or phantoms prowling?
That's just your stomach growling.
Carrots.
Onions.
Potatoes.
Beets.
Let's make the air all smoky sweet for hungry travelers on tired feet.
Hello?
Hello, come gather round.
A cup of stew.
Thank you.
Stay and play a song or two.
Spin.
Twirl.
Dip.
Dive.
Sparks dance with fireflies.
Is magic real?
Just watch the sky.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wonder.
Out here, under the big unknown.
Aren't we lucky we're not alone?
Gather round.
Warm and glowing.
Voices low.
Music flowing.
Sing along.
We all belong.
Round and round.
And round again.
Thus ends the story. So now we're actually going to gather round. We don't have a fire, but we're going to gather round. I'm going to ask the teachers in Faith Formation, anyone who's teaching this year, whether you're substituting or you're assigned to a class, to come on up to the chancel. And you're going to get a sheet from Karen. We do have a small, of course we have our chalice fire. So as our teachers come up, we say we are a covenantal faith, and what that means is that the agreements that we make with one another are sacred. That's what holds us together. That's the container that binds us and gives us the meaning of being together. It sets the stage for that meaning that comes from connection and all the interactions we have. And in Faith Formation, that covenant is between the teachers and the children and youth, but also between the teachers and the children and youth and you. Because here, Faith Formation is part of all of what the congregation does. There's a saying, the congregation is the curriculum. And that is certainly true here. So this morning, as we begin our new year in Faith Formation, we covenant with our teachers. And so I will begin. This morning, we thank you for your commitment to our children and youth. You will mentor them as another concerned adult in their lives. This is sacred work that is about your spiritual growth as well. I covenant to support and appreciate you.
We covenant to be present to these young souls, sharing wisdom and insight, and showing concern for each of them. We covenant to bring our best selves to the children and youth whom you place in our care.
Now, parents and caregivers, we entrust you with our children's faith formation. We thank you for the ways that you will open their eyes and strengthen their character. We covenant to appreciate you and to support at home the learning that takes place here. All right, now children, look up at the board because it's your turn. Thank you for being our teachers. Can you repeat? We promise to care for each other and do our best when we are together. All right, now it's everyone. We honor the path you have chosen to serve our congregation. We thank you for sharing your presence and the good news of our faith with our children and youth. We covenant to support and appreciate you. Oops. Thank you. Thank you all for volunteering and supporting our children. And now, those of you who are actually teaching today, and the children and youth can join me in heading to our classes as you sing us out with Trees of the Field.
It's great to be singing that again, isn't it? Hearing the tambourine. Each week when we gather, one of the ways that we tend to the fabric of community is to bear witness to one another's lives, the joys and the sorrows both. And these can be shared in 3 ways. If you're in the online pews, you can write in the YouTube chat anything that you would like to be shared here in Unity Hall this morning. And those of you in Unity Hall, you can also write in this book, which sits in the lobby. And everyone can email belovedcommunity@allsouls.net. At this time, those of you in Unity Hall are invited to come forward and light a candle of intention as you're so moved. And if those of you at the front of the line would move up to the end candles here, that would assist the line in moving easier. So the circle is open. Your joy, your sorrow, all are welcome here. From the online pews, from Sandy, peace to all, and especially in Springfield, Ohio. And a thank you from Vanessa for our volunteers, our teachers. From Peter, missing all my loved ones in New London. Your community is missing you also, Peter. And from Carol Thompson, acknowledging our young friend Ian, who was one of those drowned in the boating accident in Old Saybrook. Sending love for Ian and his family, loved ones, his community. And to you, Carol. From the Grey Book. From Kyle, my best friend Harry, who you have sent prayers and good wishes for, has turned the corner and will be going home sometime this week. Great news, Kyle. From Lexi, please pray for my Nana, who is struggling and has been in the hospital for a week. Prayers for your nanny, Lexi, for your Nana. And it says here, happy birthday to Barb Yates. Happy birthday, Barb. So let's hold everything that's been shared as we enter into a communion of prayer and meditation, followed by silence. Source of life, source of love, we're holding close the sorrow and disappointment, the joys and celebrations, spoken and unspoken, represented in this beautiful row of candles. We are gathering all the love and hope and care and concern directed towards people and places and circumstances in the online pews, here in Unity Hall, in the wider community, and in the world. May those connections of beloved community be felt, be experienced. May they sustain and nourish. On this beautiful fall day, we lift up situations where joy and beauty, trust and contentment seem far away. May we bring forth joy and beauty, trust and contentment in whatever ways are available to us. Amen.
Our musical meditation is a beautiful hymn, but it may be one that we're not as familiar with. So if you got your gray hymnals, you might want to take it out. You don't have to, but if you read music, it might help. And it's kind of a 6/4 waltz. So before Gary plays the whole thing through once, it's very short, I'm just going to say a line and have you say it back to me, because I think it'll help us get in the meter. And here it is. To see the world in a grain of sand. To see the world in a grain of sand. Perfect. Well, I thought you were going to.
Oh, I thought you were going to go through the whole thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to have you play it through.
Play through? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Starting from the top, he's going to play it through, then we'll join in. Please hold for the script change. This morning's reading is by David White, called Gratitude from Consolations. Gratitude is not a passive response to something we have been given. Gratitude arises from paying attention, from being awake in the presence of everything that lives within and without us. Gratitude is not necessarily something that is showing after the event. It is the deep state of attention that shows we understand and are equal to the gifted nature of life. Gratitude is the understanding that many millions of things come together and live together and mesh together and breathe together in order for us to take even one more breath of air. That the underlying gift of life and incarnation as a living, participating human being is a privilege. That we are miraculously part of something rather than nothing. Even if that something is temporarily pain or despair, we inhabit a living world with real faces, real voices, laughter, and the color blue. To see the full miraculously essential color blue is to be grateful with no necessity for a word of thanks. To see fully the beauty of a daughter's face is to be truly grateful without having to seek God to thank Him. To sit among friends and strangers, hearing many voices, to intuit inner lives beneath the surface lives, to inhabit many worlds at once in this world, to be a someone amongst all other someones, and therefore to make a conversation without saying a word, is to deepen our sense of presence and therefore our natural sense of thankfulness that everything happens both with us and without us, that we are participants and witnesses at once. Thankfulness finds its measure in generosity of presence, both through participation and witness. We sit at the table as part of every other person in this world while making our own world without will or effort. This is what is extraordinary and gifted. This is the essence of gratefulness. Thanksgiving happens when our sense of presence meets all other presences. And so ends the reading.
There are all manner of recommendations encouraging us to cultivate gratitude. You can find gratitude journals, gratitude lists, daily gratitude meditations, gratitude art, even gratitude check-ins with co-workers. All of this so that we might foster an attitude of gratitude, because gratitude is a powerful thing. And I'm not talking about any effect on the recipient of our gratitude, but simply the effect on us when we feel grateful. Being grateful has been shown to result in better sleep, increased creativity, decreased blood pressure, and a pretty impressive slew of other things. So it's worth it to get with it and get grateful for all that. Although they say fake it till you make it, some of the gratuitous gratitude stuff can be a little contrived, can be even toxic positivity, or even denial of pain. And sometimes it can be just plain annoying. Like forcing a child to say thank you for a gift that they're obviously not interested in. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes the gratitude list making can hint at a little of that, and I know because I've tried it. Often, that gratitude practice, not always, but often, scanning our day and coming up with 5 things we're grateful for, that can just stay in our head. We don't fully embody it, we don't fully experience it. It remains just another unembodied thought taking up residence in the brain. And although we know our mind is our body and our body is our mind, that the two are inextricably linked, the message doesn't always seem to get there, at least personally speaking. More fully moving gratitude from up here to here, the rest of us, into our bodies, is something more than coming up with a list at a certain time of day. It's more of a general posture to life. Here, right now, think of something or someone you're grateful for. Bring it to mind. Can you see it, hear it, feel it, experience it? Can you feel the gratitude? Your gratitude in your body? How does it feel to fully experience that? It goes a little deeper than we're often inclined to go, right? Author David White, in our reading, equates gratitude with paying attention. When we notice those details of what we appreciate about someone or something or life, that is what deepens our sense of gratitude. When we experience something we like, positive emotions are elicited in us. Joy, happiness, and so on. Psychologist Robert Emmons points out, though, that these emotions can be pretty short-lived. But he says if we can also experience the emotion of gratitude, that helps us go more deeply into the experience and takes it to a deeper level. Gratitude helps us experience the true value of something, the value that it has for us, and that makes all the difference. Emmons goes so far as to say, gratitude allows us to participate more fully in life. Gratitude brings us fully alive. Gratitude is one of 25 character traits. Some of us are graced with gratitude as a primary character trait, others not so much. I'm thinking of that Mrs. Grumpy on those greeting cards. And yes, I resemble her some of the time, and perhaps others can relate. But as well as the benefits that we mentioned already, gratitude is linked to satisfaction and happiness. Gratitude makes us more empathic. It can help us be humbler and more persistent. Gratitude tends to foster kindness and love, and it makes us more agreeable and open to experience. And perhaps you've guessed already with that list, but gratitude is absolutely intrinsically linked to spirituality. It's one of the so-called virtues of transcendence. Not in a sense of, as David Whyte describes, having to seek a God to thank him, but gratitude in and of itself, if felt deeply, helps to connect us to the larger universe or universes and provides meaning. Gratitude as a transcendent strength also helps us to accept mystery, that there are things that we can never fully know or understand. Gratitude brings feelings of interconnectedness with life, an awareness that we're all in it together, that we can help others and have others help us. And having gratitude leads to a decreased emphasis on material goods. And all of these are fundamental aspects of a spiritual life. So how to experience more of this gratitude, deep spiritual gratitude? This is the thing. We can only feel gratitude deeply if we slow down. The verb that David Whyte uses to describe how gratitude comes about is arise. Deep gratitude arises, cannot be forced or faked. Allowing gratitude to arise takes time and attention. Lest one imagine that going deeper with gratitude requires a weeks-long silent retreat on a deserted island, here's the truth. One only needs to slow down a little every now and then. Not that many of us find that easy, but life and Mother Nature often help us. Similar to David Cavell, author of our Story for All Ages, I can think of an experience, and perhaps you can too, in which gratitude arises. It would be the end of a long week, and my friend and neighbor Deirdre would text me and say, 7 o'clock tonight, we're lighting the fire pit. Can you come? Or her husband Ed would knock on the door and say, it's a nice evening, I'm about to light the fire. Come on down if you like. And I'd go down. We'd arrange the chairs. The fire would be lit. Sometimes it has to be said with the aid of lighter fluid. But the smell would dissipate after a few minutes, and that's how long it would take us to get settled anyway. The kids would be called. Kelsey, Connor, the fire's going. And Connor would turn off the TV and come bounding down the stairs. And Kelsey would leave her phone on the counter and come outside and pull her chair closer to the flames that were getting going. And there'd be a bit of chit-chat, and not so slowly and very surely, the pace of the conversation would slow. and our sentences would get shorter, and the gaps between words would lengthen, and an air would descend upon us that was nothing to do with the occasional clouds of smoke. And I tell you, it was pure magic. Nothing fancy. 5 people around a fire. Someone would pick up the long poker and jab at the log or coals. We'd look for shapes in the flames, maybe a moose or a fox or a phoenix. We'd sit for a while just gazing into the flames. And then someone would look upwards at the clear sky and say in amazement, "Look!" And we'd all turn our heads. And sure enough, oh wow, oh wonder. Then we'd look for shapes in the sky, Orion's belt and whatever else. Most of the time, I think it was Orion's shoe that we found. But our imaginations expanded to match the expanse of sky unfolding above us. Then we'd look back down at the glowing coals and someone would say, "Can you pass me the remote?" And the poker would get passed along. And the fire would get poked, changing the channel, and the flames would dance. Nobody said it. Nobody had to say it. But there was deep gratitude there. A lot of the time, nature is just there with her abundant generosity, right there. And sometimes we notice. Deep gratitude comes with stillness, slowing our minds and bodies. And for those of us who have difficulty in doing that, outside in nature is a great place to be, because our senses come alive, taking in all the varied stimulation that's going on, really noticing that. No, it's not statuesque stillness that's required, just a slowing down of that pace and a slowing down of the digital pixelated stimulation to come to a place of presence and deep gratitude. Do you see the candles burning? Those persistent flames of hope and joy and sorrow and light. And the alive and steady chalice flame. Do you feel deep gratitude arising? Amen. I invite you into a moment of silence.
Now let us prepare our minds and hearts for the offering. And if you have canned fruits or something for foods for the people, this would be a good time to bring it up. Now please join me in saying the words that are printed on the screen. We give to the work of our All Souls. Our work weaves the fabric of love called community. To this end, we dedicate ourselves and this our offering. Your offering will be gratefully accepted.
For all that you have shared and all that you have sacrificed, thank you. Let's join our voices in singing our closing hymn, We Give Thanks. Please join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice. Our worship has ended. Our service is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenges of the week. Our chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion. I invite you, those in Unity Hall, to reach out your hands to the wider world. Those on the online pews, if you'd like to have your hand on your heart, reaching out to the community as well beyond the screen. Gratitude for this time, for these people, for this opportunity to be together. Can you feel the experience of gratitude in your body? Not just the word or the thought in your mind. Experience the feeling in your body. Gratitude in this moment. Amen. I invite you to please be seated for the postlude. Thank you, Gary. Announcements. If you're new to All Souls and want to know more about our faith community, please stop by the welcome table over here and someone will be happy to greet you and answer questions. Today is the Caregivers Sharing Circle, which will be in Ackerman, so grab a cup of coffee and join that circle. The Get the Vote Out letter writers will meet this Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the community room. If you have questions, please see Mary Drake. Where's Mary? Mary, thank you, Mary. Friday night folk season starts Friday, September 20th. The Bards of Gunjewamp will be performing. So get your tickets on Humanitix, $20, or contact the All Souls office to get the $17 advance price, $20 at the door. The show starts at 7:30. As a reminder, each Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. we have yoga in the community room. Bring a mat and a blanket for comfort, and the suggested donation is $5 here in this beautiful space. Next Sunday, Reverend Carolyn Paterno is our worship leader with guest preacher, the Reverend Josh Pavelek. And also next week is a parent meeting, supporting children's needs in faith formation, 11:30 after the service, and childcare will be available. So that's it, that's the news. Thank you for joining us. Have a good week.